To make a note paper holder to easily hold recycled note paper. Let's get started. We're going to go to Create and Shaper, and we're going to get a cube. All right. With our cube on free resize, see how I have two arrows here? That means it's on free resize. If I click this circle, it switches to 4 arrows. That's fixed resize. Fixed resize means it will grow everything in the same proportion. See how they're 20, 20, 20 because it's a cube? And if I just grab this red tab to try to move it, they all grow in equal proportion. I'm going to undo that because I don't want to do that. Free resize, 2 arrows. If I just drag here, you can see it's only changing, it's only resizing where I'm dragging it. So, on free resize, 2 arrows, we want the green, so that's our Y, to be 150 millimeters. After you type in 150, you can just press return or enter on your keyboard. I know that looks giant, but don't panic. So we want the width, our red, the X, to be 118 millimeters. And we want the Z to be 35 millimeters. So we have 118, 135, 118, 150, 135. I just have to either scroll out or swipe with 2 fingers on a trackpad backwards, and I'll be able to see my full design. Now, once you have made sure that your size is 118, 150, 35, the next thing you want to do is make sure that it's sitting on the work surface, because you can see by looking it probably goes below. So we're going to go over to the Move tab, the Precision Move tab. You could also get there by clicking the menu here, but when you're in Move, any of these, you can just go between the tabs. So you can see our Z is at -75 or 7.5. We don't want that. We wanted 0. So 0, 0, 0 means it's right in the middle where it was dropped and everything is good. And anytime you move your shape, sometimes by accident that happens, you want to make sure your Z is at 0. That means it's flat on the work surface. Okay, so this is the outer shape. So what we're going to do right now is get the shape we're going to use for cutting. So you want your next shape to be a different color. You can either click your different what? You can't do that. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. First we want to copy. So you're going to come up here to the menu with the lines and use the copy or duplicate. And don't move it or do anything. Now just go pick another color. Doesn't matter what color, you just want it to be different. Now, I know the one that's selected is the copy or duplicate, but if you want to like tap on it and maybe just move it up, just use your, what is that, your kind of like the Precision Move tab, if you just wanted to see it. Or if you know you're using it, you could go into your Precision Move and we can move it. So we want our Z to be at 0, our Y to be at 0. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my letters today. Our X to be at 0, our Y to be at 0, our Z to be at 5. This is our second shape. And we will come back to these, but it will let you see it if you move it here. All right, so let's get this resized. The one we're gonna cut, right? So that's the second one. the one that's at Z5. You want to be in free resize. Again, you might need to make sure you have your 2 arrows. So this time, we're basically going to be taking 5 millimeters off of the X and the Y. We are not taking 5 millimeters off the Z because we raised it 5 millimeters. So for your X, on the one you added, this is the one we're going to use to cut the hole, you're going to type 145. Nope. I'm mixing up my numbers again. My heavens. I don't know what it is today. 118 minus 5 is 113. I'm just jumping ahead on everything. So 113, I have them written on my paper in a different order. That's also what's mixing me up. And then here, 150 is going to become 145. And we're not changing the 35. See how it's sticking out? So, back to that move. So you want the one you're cutting out to be at 0 for X, 0 for Y, and 5 for Z. I'm going to rotate this so you can see. It beautifully centers it, and it's raised up. So if I click on it, you can see I'm 5 millimeters up. Okay, get your size correct. You want these correct. You want your move to be correct, 0, 0, and 5. When that's all done, you'll be ready to come back and we will cut it out. All right, for cutting out a shape, you want the menu. And the button that allows us to cut is the 2 circles. So these extra options come out when we click this menu, and they can go away if they're in your way. So when you click cut, it shows you a little sample. Notice the cut type is set to hole. It will default to hole, so you shouldn't change it. But if something ever looks wrong, just make it say hole. We're going to click OK if it looks the way we want. If you discover you need to fix something, go fix it. So right now, I have the basic outline of the box for my note paper holder. Get your hole cut and then come back and we will cut the little notch for to make it easy, right? People don't want to, note paper holders have a little notch out of the front. Okay, once you have your hole correct, we're ready to get our notch cut. For that, you can use a number of different shapes. Like I could make this very rectangular. I could make it sort of rounded. And I'm going to use a flat shape to do this. So, I could use the octagon, or like a hexagon or a circle to sort of create my shape, or a rectangle. But I'm going to grab the hexagon for my shape. And it doesn't matter the color because we're using it to cut. So just grab your shape and plop it in the middle. You want something that we can stretch to create that opening hole. If you're not quite sure what I mean, maybe watch the next section and then cut. Go back, come back, kind of rewind for the other directions. But if you are ready, go grab a shape. Okay, now we're going to use the shape to cut the hole. So first, we just want to do this. So I'm just going to tip it and click on the precision move. And you can see it's at the 0, which is great because it's centered for us. The Z is because it's on top. We're not worried about the Z. But what you want to do is grab the move tab instead of free dragging, because it's going to keep it nice and centered. And just drag it to the front. And then we need to rotate. You might need to zoom in or out. But I'm going to stretch my shape. And you're going to want to be on the free resize for this. because you are gonna stretch your shape to make it a size for a good opening. All right. Let me check this. All right. So once you have a size that you think is good, stretch it. We need our Z to be thicker than our wall. So I'm going to make our Z, whatever your X and your Y are fine. But on a free resize, 2 arrows, make your Z be 7 or 8 millimeters. Because we need it to be thicker than our wall, and our wall here is 5 millimeters. So now I need to stand this up. And to do that, I'm going to click on the rotate. And here's a good tip. So when you want to rotate something, look for the color. Like we just want to flip it up. So I'm going to grab a red. Just grab it and don't, using these helps keep them nice and straight. Now, think about our angles. We want everything to be at a 90. So we want all of our angles to be multiples of 90. So what I do is I sort of stretch it, right, or move it close, and then I look. So 75 is closest to 90, right? So I'm going to change that to 90. Then I know it'll be straight up and down. You can see these are already at 180, which would be the next one. So you're trying to kind of round your numbers to 90, 180, 270, 360, or sometimes 0. So I'm just going to take that 75 and make it a 90. So you might need to make something 180 or 270. If you rotate the way I did, it would be 90. That's gonna, now I know it should be standing up straight the way I need it to. And now I'm gonna use my precision move to get this in place. So there's gonna be a few things. First, I'm gonna move it up because we want it to be up. And I can tell that I'm going to switch my X. So you can eyeball your center. I just did a free drag, which I hate doing, but you can eyeball and sort of move it. But I know that I'm centering off of my red. So if I just make that 0, that's another way I can get it centered. It puts it smack it in line with the 0, the center of the shape with the 0. So now I'm going to drag it back. So I'm going to get that precision move and grab a tab. Don't free drag. And I want it to go and intersect with my wall. And wherever there's purple, it's going to cut out. Now think about, decorations, what you're going to add. I'm going to go a little lower. So to me, I'm aiming for about halfway through the shape to be in line with the top. But you're kind of using your best judgment because we want there to be a space where people can get their fingers in. In fact, I'm wondering if maybe I should do this. I want to stretch this down a little. I don't want to move anything and I don't want to change anything, but I do want to stretch this down. So if I just click here, it'll see how it's bumping it down. There we go. So it's going to be a little, you're going to adjust as you go, but using the tricks I showed you to move it out, get a good size, rotate, that's going to help you get it set. So get your shape all set for how you think you want it to be cut out, and then come back. I'll show you how to cut it out again. Just so that you remember. Okay, if your shape is set and you're ready to cut, you're going to click on the little shape that's cutting the hole, and you're going to tap the menu and go to the 2 circles to cut. And it's going to give you a little preview. like as in you want us to remove this, and I do. So I'm going to click OK. Now, if I do that and then suddenly go, oh, I don't like it, remember you can always use your undo still. But I like it. I'm going to leave it. This just gives people a place to ease. It makes it easier to grab the paper as it gets lower in the box. So get your hole cut, and then we can talk about decorating. So there are several ways we can decorate. I can add a shape, or I can add text. I'm going to show you strategies for each. So first, I'm just going to add a shape. Now, it always drops our stuff in the middle, right on top. That's perfect. Same idea. We're not changing anything yet. We're just going to click here on the move, and we're going to use the precision move and drag it out. Now, I don't want it in the middle, but that's okay. I'm still going to use my precision move. It absolutely helps. So I'm going to click here and slide it over. And I actually don't need to be too particular with this because I'm going to show you something pretty awesome. So first, you see how that Z is 2 millimeters? That's good. We want our Z for the things that we add here to be about 1.6, maybe 2 millimeters. Absolutely nothing larger. So between 1.5 and 2 millimeters on the thickness, on the Z for whatever we add. Now here's what I want you to see. When I click a shape and tap on my tools, see that magnet? I can click that magnet and then click where I want it to go. Now sometimes that happens, like it made it upside down. We can fix that. There are a number of ways. And if you're planning to add multiple of something, get one perfect, then use your duplicate button to make a copy, but don't do it yet. So right now, I just need to rotate. So I'm going to click on rotate. I could use the red or the blue to rotate this one. So I'm going to use the blue. And remember, if you're trying to get super straight up and down, oh, look, I got it to 180 here. So here it says 270. So remember, we want whatever number, we're looking for 90, 180, 270, 360, or 0. So that looks like it's good. I think I would move it down a little bit. So if I'm keeping this, I want to maybe put it here. So now if I want a second heart or more hearts, even if they're going to be smaller, because I've already gone through the time to put it in the correct spot, everything is set, the best way to get more is to use that copy. I could make it smaller. I'm definitely going to move it. In this case, I'm just going to move it over. I think I just want to have a couple hearts. So this would be absolutely ready to go. These are attached. They're not sticking out too far. And if I just wanted 2 hearts, that's great. When we finish, just so that you're ready, and I am going to show you text next, you're going to title your design with 1 or 2 words to describe what it is. So I'm going to say heart and a space, right? That's my description, heart. And you're going to add paper holder. So 2 words, paper and holder. So paper holder is what all of these note paper, note card holders should have. And then you add 1 or 2 words in the beginning. You're not setting a price. You're not changing the privacy. But I'm going to copy that because we want to see adding text. I'm going to be adding text. I could get rid of my heart. I could also have a decoration and text. So I think I'm going to do that. No, yeah. In many cases, you probably You might want to add text first before decorations, but we'll just go through it. So first, our text is going to drop in the middle like our hearts did. And to keep this simple, I'm just going to make mine say love. Right? That works. I've got two hearts. Or, write whatever you like. But I'm just going to write love. It's going to keep it simple for this demonstration. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to scroll out a little here so that I can use my precision move because remember, it puts it right in the middle. I'm just going to drag the green and it'll be the same process. I'm going to click on love and I'm going to get the magnet, and yes, it's going to put it upside down, so it's going to be a little different. Oh, look at that. We are getting a new set of options from the last time I used this. But right now, we're just going to do it the same way. So I'm going to tap right there where I want it. I am guessing those new options will be helpful, but since I'm in the middle of making this, I'm going to go back and figure those out next time. So we have to do two things because this is upside down and reversed. So we have to rotate a few times. So first, I am going to flip it so it's not upside down. And same thing, you just grab, you click the rotate, you grab I like to call it the dot or like the handle of the color that works. And when you go, you're remembering that 90, 180, 270, 360. So I'm at 78, which means I just want to make that 90. All right, so right now I'm attached and I'm looking good, except I'm reversed. So now we need to rotate the other way. So I'm going to grab the green. Oh, I got really close. So I can see I've got a 271, right? So I'm just going to make it a 270. And here's the next thing I want to check. So I've got it where I want. I want to check the width. So it's 1.6. Remember I said we want to be between 1.6 and 2? 1.6 looks a little narrow. So making sure I'm on free resize, I'm going to make that a 2. Now, you might need to adjust your letter, your word. You might, want to make it wider, smaller, all sorts of things. But just use your tools the way you know how. The magnet, the Snap To tool, will make things easier when you're attaching. You may decorate in any way you like, using duplicate, using your precision moving and precision sizing are going to make things a lot easier. And just remember, when you save, so everybody's going to have the words paper holder. I would call this, I guess, love paper holder. Do not set a price. Make sure it's set to show if you're doing this for my class, and then click done.